Coco Gauff reveals key to victory over Jasmine Paolini in WTA Finals. Coco Gauff discussed her mindset entering today's match against Jasmine Paolini in the WTA Finals. Today's group stage match between the third-seeded Coco Gauff and eighth-seeded Jasmine Paolini was a win-or-go-home match for the two players who dropped their first match of the WTA Finals on Sunday. It was not a huge surprise that Paolini lost to the top-ranked Aryna Sabalenka earlier this week, but Jessica Pegula's three-set win over Gauff was an upset. Many of Gauff's technical issues flared up during the loss to Pegula. However, Gauff played much better today. She did not hit any aces, but only double-faulted 3 times. Gauff won points on 67% and 75% of her first and second serves, respectively. She broke Paolini in 4 of 7 opportunities, while only getting broken 1/5 times. Coco Gauff's serve. Gauff revealed what she was most proud of in her post-match interview. "Definitely serve. I thought I served smart, and yeah, I think overall return everything. I don't think Jasmine was 100% today, so I would like her to give her well wishes in her next few matches here today. Playing singles and doubles is not easy. However, the biggest key to victory was her mindset." Gauff mentioned it during her on-court interview and again later when speaking with the Tennis Channel. When asked about mental fortitude she could share with fans, Gauff said, "I don't know, I just try to give myself the best chance to win. I felt like my last match, I wasn't so positive, so I was just trying not to let that be a repeat of today." Coco Gauff's mental strength. When asked if she felt the pressure of defending her WTA Finals title, Gauff replied, "Yes and no. Knowing that no one has defended it in however many years definitely takes the pressure off, and honestly, yeah, there's a reason. You're playing the top 8 in the world. This round-robin format is so hard. I'm used to, like, when I'm losing, sulking in bed for a few days, and having to come back and play matches is so unique. So yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to get through this one today." Gauff improves to 48-15 on the season. She will face Aryna Sabalenka in her next match on Thursday, November 6th. Gauff holds a 6-5 advantage over Sabalenka, including their last meeting in the 2025 French Open final. The 2025 WTA Finals runs through November 8th. Stay locked into Sports Illustrated's Serve on SI for all of your tennis news from the court and beyond. Under the golden glow of the Riyadh lights, Coco Gauff stood tall, sweat glistening on her brow and her heart pounding with adrenaline. The crowd was still buzzing from what they had just witnessed, a high-octane, emotionally charged battle between two of the most determined women in tennis. The scoreboard read 7-6, 6-4, and the defending champion had done it again. But behind Gauff's victory over Italy's Jasmine Paolini lay more than power, more than speed. It was a story of patience, growth, and mental mastery. The calm before the storm. As Gauff took to the court, the stakes were immense. She wasn't just defending her WTA Finals title, she was defending her evolution. Over the past year, Coco had transformed from a promising prodigy into one of the sport's most complete players, balancing fire with focus, instinct with intelligence. Yet, she knew Jasmine Paolini wasn't to be underestimated. The Italian, small in stature but immense in spirit, had carved her way into the world's elite through sheer grit and strategic brilliance. "She's like a wall that smiles," Gauff would later say with a laugh. "You hit your hardest shot, and she just sends it back with interest, and somehow looks like she's enjoying every minute of it." As the first ball was struck, it was clear this wouldn't be a straightforward match. Paolini used her variety, mixing spins, slices, and angles, to drag Gauff out of her comfort zone. Coco's power shots, usually devastating, were being absorbed and redirected with uncanny precision. The Italian's footwork was lightning, her anticipation sharp. By the 5th game, it was clear, Gauff would have to adjust or perish. The turning point. That adjustment, that mental shift, became the key to everything. After the match, Coco revealed what changed her fate. "I stopped trying to hit through her. I started thinking through her. It wasn't about overpowering Jasmine, it was about outsmarting her." Between points, Gauff slowed down, took deeper breaths, and began reading Paolini's rhythm. She stopped rushing into rallies and began constructing them, using heavy topspin to push the Italian back before sneaking in sharp angles. At 3-4 in the first set, Coco found herself in trouble, down 15-40 on her own serve. That's when the key unlocked. A long rally ensued. Paolini looped a high backhand deep, and Gauff chased it, sliding into a low, balanced forehand that skimmed the net. Then another, and another, until finally, Coco unleashed a laser cross-court forehand that drew an error. The crowd erupted, and something inside her clicked. That point changed everything, she said afterward. I told myself, you don't have to play perfect, you just have to stay in it. Every point is a battle, not a highlight reel. From there, her confidence grew. The forehand that had been shaky earlier found its groove, her serve started painting lines, and her defensive reads became instinctive. The first set tiebreak was pure fire, Gauff racing ahead 4-0 before sealing it 7-5 with a daring down-the-line winner. Power meets patience. If the first set was survival, the second was strategy. Paolini, refusing to yield, raised her level with more aggression. She broke Gauff early with a sneaky drop shot followed by a looping lob that brought gasps from the crowd. But Coco's maturity showed. There was no panic, no visible frustration, just focus. I reminded myself that the score doesn't define the story, Gauff said. It's the next point that does. That mindset became her anchor. She began varying her own pace, mixing flatter, quicker shots with looping topspin drives that forced Jasmine to backpedal. And when the Italian tried to step in, Coco used her slice backhand to disrupt the timing. The result? A tactical masterclass. Gauff broke back for 3-3, then again at 5-4 with a fearless return game that left Paolini clapping her racket in admiration. A final ace sealed the deal, her 7th of the night, and with it, her spot in the semi-finals. The key revealed. When asked what truly made the difference, Gauff smiled, that mix of wisdom and youth that has defined her rise. It was all mental, she said. I've been working so much on staying calm. Jasmine plays with so much heart. If you get emotional against her, she wins twice. I had to control my energy, use it when it mattered. That was the key. Her coach, Brad Gilbert, echoed the sentiment from the sidelines. She's learning to win ugly when she has to, he told reporters. That's what champions do. Everyone loves the highlight reels, but the real growth is in winning on bad days, against awkward opponents, under pressure. Coco showed all of that tonight. And indeed, it wasn't Gauff's cleanest match. She committed 34 unforced errors, but it was one of her smartest. The ability to reset, to adapt mid-match, to manage nerves under the lights of Riyadh, that was the difference between a great player and a champion.